Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Chris Petruskevich. I'm Dean of the Stetson University College of Law, and I am delighted to welcome you to our 2017 Honors and Awards program. So to our family members, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, students, overseers, trustees, and most importantly, our graduates, welcome. We're glad you're here. So I think it is only appropriate to start the program by recognizing your success and recognizing all of you. So can you all stand up so we can clap for you? You all did that well. You want to stand up again so we can do it one more time? This is such a defining moment in the lives of our students and in the history of Stetson. We are here because you have achieved monumentously while you've been part of the College of Law. You've gone above and beyond all that you expected of yourselves, what we expected of you, and what you thought was possible when you first stepped foot on our campus in orientation 3 or 4 years ago. During orientation, you might remember, probably not, but you might remember a story that I told you about my time at the Department of Justice when I tried cases in a number of different cities, and you would never know anybody else in those cities, and I would always get a call from a local United States attorney who would say, you know, there are two kind of lawyers in the world, those that shoot straight and those that don't. Not only have you figured out how to shoot straight during your time at the College of Law, but you have excelled and exceeded all of those expectations. And so today I modify my talk from during your orientation, and there are now two types of lawyers. There are Stetson lawyers, and then there's everybody else. And so Stetson lawyers define themselves by lots of different things. You define yourselves by your academic achievements. You've defined yourselves by your commitment to social justice and public service. All of the graduates who are sitting here today completed over 60 hours of pro bono service, many of them so many more, so much so that this year our public service hours total over 30,000 on behalf of the College of Law. So congratulations to all of you. You've defined yourselves as leaders in legal writing, whether as a member of a law review or one of our other academic journals, or writing a petition for clemency that was granted by President Obama in his last weeks in office. In fact, Stetson is routinely ranked as one of the top law schools in the country for its legal writing program. You're also defined by your skills in advocacy, whether part of the Dispute Resolution Board, part of the Moot Court Board, or part of the trial team. There are 204 law schools in the United States, and there can only be one that's first, and that's Stetson. So my guess is that during your time at Stetson, you might also remember during orientation that I told you you had to come to law school with two friends. One was the Career Development Office that can help you get a job when you graduate from law school. And the other is someone from your family. And many of those people are here today. So can you stand up again and say thank you to all the people who helped you get through law school? So I'd like to recognize a few of our distinguished guests who are here tonight. The Honorable Ray Hawley, a member of our University Board of Trustees and president of the Stetson University Alumni Association Board of Directors. Ben Hill. Is a member of the Stetson University Board of Trustees and is chair of the College of Law's Board of Overseers. And Josh Magidson. a member of the Stetson University Board of Trustees and the immediate past chair of the College of Law Board of Trustees. So the awards portion of our program will follow presentations by several of our professors who will introduce themselves. Professor Scully, you're first.
Good afternoon. I am Judith Scully, and for the last 6 years, I've had the honor of serving as the William Reese Smith Distinguished Professor of Law. As part of this responsibility, I helped co-found the Social Justice Advocacy Concentration Program and have been responsible for managing various aspects of our students' pro bono activities and community service activities. Now, in order to qualify for graduation, as Dean Petruskevich stated, all of our students had to complete at least 60 hours of pro bono service. The recipients, however, of the next award, the William Blues Pro Bono Service Awards, are students who have gone the extra mile. They have together, collectively I should say, performed over 2,205 hours of legal service between 6 of them. They have helped veterans in need of medical care obtain the legal assistance that they need. They have worked on preventing foreclosures, provided vital information to low-income citizens filing their tax returns. They have assisted neglected and abused children. They have represented delinquent children and adults accused of crimes. They have provided support to our prosecutor's office at the state and federal levels, and they have counseled migrant farm workers on their legal rights. I'm going to ask the 6 graduates receiving this award to please stand and be recognized as I call your name. From the class of December 2016, Christopher William Knight. Allison Livia Holka. And Brittany Louise Burchard. From our May 2017 class, the 3 award winners have all actually exceeded over 500 hours each. Jamie Carell Worley, Alexis Lee Petrosino, and Caitlin Marie Dugas. We are exceptionally proud of all of you and the work that you have done in our community. Thank you.
Good afternoon and congratulations to all of you. My name is Ellen Pod Gore, and I had the privilege, along with Professor Marco Jimenez, of being coordinator of Stetson's honors program. Students who excel at the beginning of their law school career are invited to apply to be part of the honors program. Through a highly competitive process, they are selected to participate in this year-long program, their second year of law school. The following students completed the honors program, and each of them wrote a scholarly paper as part of the program, some of which have since been published. Graduates, as I call your name, please come up to receive your certificate. Let's congratulate each one of these students. Alyssa Lynn Aquaviva. She authored the paper, Florida's Justice Gap, Failing Gideon's Promise. Marissa Ann Chaffee. She authored the paper, Too Drunk to DUI, Saying Yes to the Test Isn't Enough for Prosecutors in Georgia. Gregory Scott Meese. Too Gay to Play, the matchup between professional sports and equal employment opportunities. Daniel Salvatore Diaco. The quantum theory of common law. Casey Austin Feltner. Swipe Right for ISIS, material support to foreign terrorist organizations and social media. Adriana Hope Foreman. Driving while mentally impaired, a comparative look at physician reporting laws and its effect on patients with mild dementia. Ricardo Gordillo. Prescription Wars, How Florida Fought Against Human Addiction with Mixed Results. Veselin Katsarov. The Bulgarian Denominations Act of 2002 through the prism of neutrality, a discussion and criticism of the Bulgarian law of religion. Jeffrey Charles Keller. Distorting the medical truth, the First Amendment injustice of laws that regulate physician-patient communication. Shelby Mars. An unconstitutional constitutional amendment in the context of Article 3. Edgardo Javier Rodriguez. Florida's justice gap failing Gideon's promise. Kara Brooke Rogers. On the Side of the Angels, a biblical analysis of Miller versus Davis. Brian Vaughn Squires. You can't get blood from a stone, but you can from the poor. Mary Ann Thornton. Punishing the buyer prostitution law reform in the United States. Jessica K. Vandervelde. Big Sugar as the new tobacco, battling a sweet but toxic substance through regulation and litigation. Julianne Welch. Ethics, Evidence, and My Cousin Vinny. Nicole Elizabeth Zaborska. Non-disparagement clauses in consumer contracts, contract formation, unconscionability, and the First Amendment. Congratulations to everyone.
It says here Professor Rhodes will ad-lib his comments. And those of you who know me understand that that's always what I do, pretty much every day on a moment-to-moment basis. In order for this to work, I need for you to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to imagine me about 4 to 6 inches taller, about half as wide, and speaking in a slightly snarky British accent. You can open them up now. The reason that I do that is my good friend and colleague, Professor Timothy Kay, asked me as the director of the Advocacy Center to announce the folks for the Journal of Advocacy and the Law, because the Journal of Advocacy and the Law is part of the Center for Excellence in Advocacy at Stetson University College of Law. Advocacy without purpose is just sound, meaning nothing. One of the secrets of this law school is that in many ways, large and small, we take our skill set and we put it forward in the purpose of others. The Journal of Advocacy and the Law is no different. Professor Kay and I envisioned it as a way to capture a 21st century document usable by lawyers that was actually practical, You might think of it as writing law review articles that people actually read. I couldn't help myself. In my defense, I'm on painkillers today, so I'm allowed. All right. As I say your name, please come forward and get your certificate. Each of these students are someone that I have a relationship with in another capacity at the law school, but I promise not to talk about them until a separate time. Nathan Sean Broomer. Jessica Marie Crane. Casey Austin Feltner. And Julius Matuzowicz.
Good afternoon. My name is Bobby Flowers, and I'm a professor here at Stetson also, and I have the amazing opportunity to oversee the International Journal of Aging Law and Policy. This journal is unique in a lot of different ways, probably primarily because all of our authors are usually international writers, and so our students really have to work hard to edit their papers to bring them into the way we read papers here in the United States. This last year, we had authors from Australia, from Canada, from Israel, from Korea, and yes, even occasionally from the United States. These students work very hard, and we're very proud that we have finished our 9th and 10th journal issues this last year. Let's see. Graduates, as I call your name, please come up and receive your certificate. Alyssa Aquaviva. Daniel Brown, who was our executive editor and worked very hard to get articles for our next issue. Shelby Mars. Andrew McDonnell. And finally, our amazing student editor in charge of all things, Natalie Marie Yellow.
I'm Professor Paul Boudreau. Stetson students edit the Journal of International Wildlife Law and Policy. Scholars, scientists, and advocates from around the world write about laws and policies to protect the biodiversity of our planet. This year, Stetson students edited articles about, among other topics, interactions between wildlife and humans in Africa and Europe, small-scale fisheries, and the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. The graduating students who will receive certificates are Miles Archibald, Emily Carter, who was an articles editor, Ariel Claude, Rachel Curran, Gregory Demise, Deriki Geuka, Anna Kirkpatrick, who was an articles editor, Daniel Knuth. Samuel Kusha. Raymond Powers. Taylor Ryan. Jessica Skoglund. And Mary Ann Thornton. Congratulations.
I'm Professor Jason Bent, and I'm the faculty advisor to the Stetson Law Review. The Stetson Law Review publishes 3 issues per year, each filled with timely and original pieces of legal scholarship authored by prominent judges, law professors, practicing attorneys, and our own students. They produce 3 of these every year. This is one of the issues from this year's volume, and despite Professor Rhodes' crack a few minutes ago, people actually do read this. And if you would like to subscribe, please contact the current marketing editor for the Stetson Law Review. The Law Review students also host an annual symposium event. This year's symposium brought speakers from around the country to discuss the role of corporations, the role that corporations ought to play in our democracy. To ensure that we publish a top quality law journal with perfect, and I mean perfect, citations, and to help organize events like the symposium, every Stetson Law Review member takes on an enormous amount of extra responsibility above and beyond their classwork. Probably seems like a thankless job at times, but this experience and training will pay dividends in the quality of their professional writing throughout their legal careers. I'm consistently impressed by the talent and the dedication of these students who have continued the proud tradition of the Stetson Law Review and have taken the journal to new heights this year. As I call your name, graduates, please come forward. And for the audience, please join me in congratulating the following graduating members of the Stetson Law Review. Albert Evan Dix, Editor-in-Chief. Monica Lee Strady, Executive Editor. Lauren Anna Bayo, Assistant Executive Editor. Shelby A. Mars, Assistant Executive Editor. Adriana Hope Foreman, Managing Editor. Jacob Lawrence Boehner, Notes and Comments Editor. Arda Goker, Notes and Comments Editor. Matthew Brian Greetham, Notes and Comments Editor. Jeffrey Charles Keller, Articles and Symposia Editor. Jessica K. Vandervelde, Recent Developments Editor. Nicole Elizabeth Zavorska, Marketing Editor. Jeremy D. Bachkovich, Senior Associate, sorry. Catherine Elizabeth Collier, Senior Associate. Brendan R. D'Souza, Senior Associate. Danielle Marie Deneen, Senior Associate. Brian Michael Edmiston, Senior Associate. Casey Austin Feltner, Senior Associate. Alicia Ganji, Senior Associate. Cameron Robert Hall, Senior Associate. Colin A. Mixon, Senior Associate. Alexandra Sophia Peterson, Senior Associate. Edgardo Javier Rodriguez, Articles and Symposia Editor. Kara Brooke Rogers, Senior Associate. Joseph Edward Rupel, Senior Associate. Adam P. Shapiro, Senior Associate. Michael J. Talaya, Senior Associate. Catherine Elizabeth Vinay, Articles and Symposia Editor. Julianne Welch, Notes and Comments Editor. Alexander E. Howell, Associate. Diego M. Pastana, Associate. And Natalia Carolina Reina Pimiento, Associate. Congratulations to the graduating members of the Stetson Law Review.
Good evening. I'm Professor Kristen Adams, and it's my great pleasure to recognize the graduating members of the Dispute Resolution Board. This year marked our 16th year of existence, and thus our 16th year of excellence. Our board is the brainchild of Professor Kelly Feely, our founding faculty advisor. And some of you who have been part of the Stetson Law community for some time will have heard our board referred to as the Client Skills Board or the Alternative Dispute Resolution Board. So for some of you, hearing us called the Dispute Resolution Board, or DR Board as we call it, is new. Our new name not only aligns us with the ABA section of dispute resolution, but also recognizes the breadth of competitions in which we participate. The Dispute Resolution Board encompasses a very wide range of competitions that allows students to practice their practical lawyering skills, from client counseling to negotiation to mediation, which is a facilitated negotiation, to arbitration, both domestic and international. Arbitration is essentially a trial before a private tribunal. Now, guys, I keep having to remind myself that this isn't the forum where I get to talk about how much each of you means to me. And so I truly hope that I will get to meet your families tomorrow and embarrass you duly one-on-one, and that I will do. In the meantime, I hope that you will take a moment and look at the program to get a sense of the enormous body of hard work and impressive work that these graduating board members have accomplished. You will find there 3 semifinalists, 4 finalists, 5 first place winners, and 6 students who have won recognition at the international level, either in Vienna or Hong Kong. And as you read through these accomplishments, you just might get a sense of the enormous amount of blood, sweat, and yes, occasionally tears invested. So thank you so much to the Dean and the administration for being so supportive of our work. We have some amazing coaches from the practicing bar. I'd like to take a moment, though, to recognize some coaches from the Stetson faculty and staff. Professors Jim Sheehan and Professor Kelly Feely. Professor Bobby Flowers. Professor Lance Long. Professor Joe Morrissey. Dean Stephanie Vaughn, sometimes called Jedi Master. And the wonderful Aaron Okino. Graduates, when I call your name, please come forward for your certificates. David Barrera. Alan Brock. Nathan Broomer. Elizabeth Buckwalter. Ariel Claude. Allison Contai. Samantha Grizzle. Sadia Hashem. George Koulianos. Yvonne Lee Stavraden. Bridget Pearl. Reshma Farsi. Kara Rogers. Carlos Sanchez. Brian Squires. Skylar Stewart. Carolina Suazo. Graduates, thank you so much for your hard work, your teamwork, your dedication, and for making this a truly memorable and wonderful year. I will miss you.
I'm back. Hopefully I'll be able to get through this particular presentation without shedding a tear or two, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I will. For the last decade, I've been the director of the Center for Excellence in Advocacy, and that works with all of the boards, dispute resolution, trial team, and moot court. And I so appreciate what each of those boards brings to the overall Stetson experience and the quality of the young men and women who are part and parcel of that process each and every year. And I'm very well aware of Stetson's history when it comes to trial team and trial competitions. We are the premier school for this, beyond any shadow of any doubt, in the nation. And that is a gift, and it's also a burden that we carry each and every year. And the young people that I'm about to talk about have carried this burden for the last 2 years. And I want to tell you, although I'm not allowed to talk about them individually because we'd be here all night long, they are the most decorated team, trial team, since probably 1993, ladies and gentlemen. Their accomplishments have been spectacular in a way that has outstripped the accomplishment of almost everyone who has come before, in an environment that is more competitive than it has ever been. And folks have been asking me as we reflect on the end of this year, how has that possibly happened, Charlie, that this has occurred? Take a look at the great hall that we're in right now, folks. Look at the columns that line the walls and the beams that are so colorful and that are interlocked with one another and that support each other, that are both an individual piece and part of a greater collective whole. And that is actually the secret to what these young men and women have done. The support beams are all of the professors on this faculty, all of the staff members and all of the coaches who have spent countless hours pushing them to become something that they didn't believe that they could do. It's Professor Flowers, who along with me has been the advisor for the trial team for the last 2 years. It's Ms. McCardle, who's the assistant director of the Advocacy Center, who has spent countless hours with them. And it's every single professor over here who taught them mastery of a legal subject, such that they were superior coming in the door to any other lawyer that showed up. And make no mistake about it, that's part of what makes them special. But the beams themselves, those colorful, interlocking, supporting beams, are these young men and women. They are the absolute best that I have ever seen. And it gives me great pleasure to call their names, and we'll see if I can get through it. There are national champions, state champions, regional champions, best advocates. Look in the program when you've got a lot of time to kill and you can read the accomplishments. As I call your name, please come forward and get your certificate. Ashley Marie Brooks. Nathan Sean Brummer. Keishontavia R. Carson. Alexa Marie Klein. Colby Philip Connell. Mr. Connell will be representing the law school at the Top Gun competition next month in Baylor, and they better watch out. Carlos Cruz. Caitlin Marie Dugas. And I'm going to say his name, he's one of our December graduates, Parker Young Florin. Jordan Bliss Green. Another December graduate, Patrick Arun Ayampalaya. Carlos J. Manresa. Julius Matuzewicz. We're all waiting on you, man. Courtney Page Olivier. Alberto Julian Oquendo Alvarez. Sasha Lee Francesca Pandolfo. You take all the time you need, darling. Shantae Nicole Perry. Alexis Lee Petrosino. You folks obviously believe in a lot of names. Christian Charles Romaguera. Skylar DeWitt Stewart. And last but certainly not least, Carolina Melinda Suazo.
Good evening. May it please the Great Hall. My name is Professor Brooke Bowman, and it's my honor to be entrusted with the responsibility for Stetson's Moot Court Board. Okay, that was the intro. Now the roadmap. The roadmap. 2 points I need to discuss this evening. 1, a brief description of what Moot Court is, and 2, the presentation of the certificates for the Moot Court graduates. Moving to my first point. Yeah, that's a signpost. Got it. Okay, the Moot Court Board is different from our other 2 advocacy boards in that every competition involves both a written and an oral component. The competitions begin with teams consisting of 2 to 5 members receiving a record or fact pattern. Sometimes that's very short, 3 to 5 pages, other times not so much. The team researches and writes 1 or 2 documents that are commonly known as briefs. Let me add a footnote here. Do not let the word brief fool you. They are not brief. They are 14,000 words, 75 pages, but I move on. Once the team has submitted a brief or 2, the team prepares for oral arguments that can be as short as 15 minutes for 2 oralists or as long as 45 minutes for 2 oralists. Both in practice and competition, the Moot Court Board members present their arguments in front of panels of judges, ranging from 3 to 9. And these judges are constantly interrupting with questions. How rude. In fact, I'm waiting for a question. Seeing none, I will move on. Consequently, there are 3 types of awards that Moot Court Board members can receive: the best brief, the best individual oralist, and the best team award. And our Moot Court graduates have won awards in all 3 categories. As reflected on pages 11 and 12 of the record, the program. By the way, that's a citation if you're just interested. This talented group has won so many awards at the state, regional, and national level that I will leave it to your leisure to review. Before I transition to my second point, which is the introduction of the graduates of this year's class, that's another signpost, I must give 2 thank yous because it takes an entire community to develop our advocates. First, thank you to the deans, the administration, for their continued support of all the advocacy programs and activities. And second, thank you, a very heartfelt thank you to two groups of people. First, the professors and attorneys who selflessly devote hundreds of hours to coaching our teams. I'd like to recognize the coaches of our graduating Moot Court board members, including Professor Allen, Professor Adams, Professor Flowers, and Professor Varelli, and our alums, the attorneys, the advocacy skills trainers. Many are here this evening, including Caitlin Jamo, Bradley Muse, Aaron Okino, and Jason Stearns. And the second group, golly, there's a whole lot in this group, and I'm not going to list them. The professors, attorneys, and judges who come and prepare our students hours after hours for competition. You know who you are, and I can't thank you enough. And now, moving to my second point, again, another transition, our graduates. When I announce the graduating Moot Court board members, please come forward to receive your certificate, and I'm announcing them in alphabetical order. Miles Archibald. Marissa Chaffee. Evan Dix. The Chief Justice of this year's board, Casey Feltner. Adriana Foreman. Christina Hartman. Jeffrey Keller. Associate Justice Anna Kirkpatrick. Associate Justice Sterling Lovelady. Trial Team Moot Court Combo, Julius Machuzovich. Diego Penstada. Associate Justice Taylor Ryan. Jessica Vandervelde. Chloe Wells. And Associate Justice Natalie Yellow. Chief Justice Petroskevich, I see that my time has expired. May I have a moment to present the nominees for the Order of Barristers Award? I promise to be quick. I do. 3 minutes. All right, here we go. Another roadmap. I already provided the intro. I haven't changed. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate for you. The Order of Barristers Award is a national honorary organization that recognizes individuals who have excelled in both advocacy, oral and written, and service. All 4 advocacy faculty advisors, Professor Adams, Professor Flowers, Professor Rhodes, and I select students for this award. And unfortunately, we are limited to just 10. Guys, let that sink in for a moment. 10. Footnote here, trust me, this is one of the most difficult things we do every year. And in the famous words of Professor Kopic, we are Stetson. So 10 awards from the #1 school in the nation in advocacy. Yes, this is difficult. Nominees for the National Order of Barristers, please come forward to receive your certificate. Marissa Chaffee. Kobe Cano. Evan Dix. Caitlin Dugas. Casey Feltner. Christina Hartman. Alexis Petrosino. Kara Rogers. Skylar Stewart. And Carolina Suazo. Congratulations.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Susan Roselle. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and a Professor of Law here, and it is my distinct pleasure to recognize those graduates who have distinguished themselves through their superior academic performance. There are a lot of you, so I will call your name and ask you to stand, and please remain standing. Audience, I'm going to ask you to please hold your applause until the end. First, our Fall 2016 graduates. Receiving the LLM with honors, Denise Duarte Alves, Imani A. Boykin, Nancy Elizabeth Carlson, Mark Anthony Consolo, Abigail Forrester Duranby, Kenneth R. Matthews, Samuel M. Silver, Marlon Marcellus Stewart III, John Wade Tomlinson VI. Receiving the JD with honors, Jessica Marie Crane, Daniel Salvatore Diaco, Parker Young Florin, Barbara J. Hitzman, Andrew Colin McDonald, Jeffrey Lee Pfeiffer, Jr., Sarah Michelle Schlesinger, Jessica Victoria Skoglund, Matthew Stanley Smoot, Matthew Edward Stranowski, Anna Marie Uri. Congratulations, Fall 2016 honors graduates. And now for the 2017 honors graduates. Again, please stand and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until the end. Receiving the LLM with honors, Brian Scott Anderson, Ryan Michelle Buckman, Amy Kimball Budney, William J. Flores, Elizabeth McCoy Greer, Tamara Ann Greer, Francesca Maria Coos, Anna Liedl, Julius Sebastian Ott, Sierra Lucille Riggs, Laura Diane Rogers, Ronald Lee Roodhouse Jr., Juliette Testit, Misty Clark Ventris, Tobias Philip Wetzel, Lucas Michael Vinke, Receiving the JD with honors, Alyssa Lynn Aquaviva, Miles Allen Archibald, Jeremy Butchkevich, Jacob Lawrence Boehner, Matthew J. Brown, Marissa Ann Chaffee, Catherine Elizabeth Collier, Rachel N. Curran, Gregory Scott Demise, Danielle Marie Deneen, Albert Evan Dix, Ryan Michael Edmiston, Jacqueline Nicole Feliciano, Casey Austin Feltner, Adriana Hope Foreman, Alicia Ganji, Arda Goker, Ricardo Gordillo, Kyle James Goss, Matthew Brian Greetham, Cameron Robert Hall, Christina Julia Hartman, Jessica Adair Hicks, Riley W. Hudson, Rachel S. Jacobs, Benjamin John James, Veselin K. Katsaroff, Jeffrey Charles Keller, Anna Pearl Kirkpatrick, Richard Daniel Knuth, Shelby A. Mars, Melinda Sue Mallow, Colin A. Mixon, Sarah Butler O'Rourke, Diego M. Pestana, Alexandra Sophia Peterson, Madison Marie Randall, Natalie Carolina Reyna Pimiento, Natalia Carolina Reyna Pimiento, Edgardo Javier Rodriguez, Kara Brooke Rogers, Joseph Edward Rupel, Taylor R. Ryan, Adam P. Shapiro, Carl Taylor Smith, Brian Vaughn Squires, Brittany Elizabeth Stewart, Skylar DeWitt Stewart, Monica Lee Strady, Ryan Jean Swafford, Michael J. Talaya, Marianne Thornton, Jessica K. Vandervelde, Julianne S. Welch, Natalie Marianne Yellow, Nicole Elizabeth Zavorska. Congratulations, 2017 honors graduates. And now, receiving certificates of concentration. Again, please stand and remain standing. Audience, hold your applause. You've got this down. Receiving the certificate of concentration in advocacy. Jessica Marie Crane, Andy Kazmati, Christopher William Knight, Nigel F. North Jr., Sasha Lee Francesca Pandolfo, Pamela Cordova Papasov, Diego M. Pestana, Lauren Marie Rice, Robert W. Wunderlich, Certificate of Concentration in Elder Law, Alyssa Lynn Aquaviva, Roger W. Klofka, Andrew Colin McDonald, Robert Thomas Joseph McLaren, Brittany Elizabeth Stewart, Ariane Valencia. Receiving the Certificate of Concentration in Environmental Law, Miles Allen Archibald, Emily Elizabeth Carter, Rachel N. Curran, Brandon Lewis Pfizer, Samuel A. Kusha, Daniel Kyle Rohan Maharaj. Receiving the Certificate of Concentration in International Law, Jeremy D. Botchkevich, Edward Allen Brock, Benjamin John James, Yulia Anna Karabin, Jessica Victoria Skoglund, J. Cameron Smith, Chloe L. Wells. And the Certificate of Concentration in Social Justice Advocacy, Peter Gordon Beckstrom, Brittany Louise Brochard, Chelsea Johanna Leiden, Taylor Susan Parker, Carolina Melinda Suazo, Julian S. Welch, Nicole Nemi Westmoreland. Congratulations, concentration graduates. But wait, there's more. Next up are joint degree candidates. First, our JD MBA dual degree candidates, Brittany Nicole Bird, Allison Taylor Conti, Lauren A. DeLesio, Caitlin Marie Dugas, Allison Elaine Ludich, Yvonne Adam Listrobin. I swear I practiced, I did. Liz DeBroden. See, it's easy. Kristen, you did it. Marissa Nicole Marchena, Reshma Farsi, John E. Rodstrom III, Valerie John Sauer, Haley Tyler, Preston Andrew Whittemore, JD MIEBL dual degree, Anastasia M. Rios, JD Mintech dual degree, James Ryan Clegg, Mary Elizabeth Ernie, Christina Grace Lassiter, JD LLM dual degree, Jill D. Naraki. Congratulations, dual degree candidates. And we have one final academic honor, for which I appreciate your extreme patience. Please join me in a round of applause for our valedictorian, Cameron Robert Hall. Cameron, please come forward and receive your valedictory medal. Congratulations to all of our honors graduates.
Good evening, welcome, and congratulations, graduates. My name is Professor Kelly Feely, and I am honored to be able to present the Named Awards. And these recognize students who have excelled in the areas of academics, advocacy, community service, or leadership. All of the descriptions of the awards are in the program, and I'm going to be going through them alphabetically, except for the first three that are listed in the program, the Walter Mann, the Dean's Award, and the Foreman Award, which will come at the end. As I call your name recipients, please come forward to receive your award and get a photograph with Dean Petroskevich. The American Bankruptcy Institute Medal Award for Excellence in Bankruptcy Studies. The recipient is Lauren Anna Bayo. The American Law Institute Continuing Legal Education Scholarship and Leadership Award recipient is Natalie Marion Yellow. The Carol R. Samuels Unsung Hero Student Leadership Award goes to Tyler DeWitt Rutledge. The Daniel N. Burton Against All Odds Award recipient is Brian Vaughn Squires. The Dean Richard Dillon Excellence in Real Property Award, Doriki T. Gayuka. The E. Harris Drew Memorial Award goes to Diego M. Pestana. The Florida Constitutional Law Award recipient is Erica Marie Geiger. Our next award is going to be presented by Canon Hearn, and that is the Hearn Environmental Law Award, and the recipient is Miles Allen Archibald. The International Academy of Trial Lawyers Award goes to Colby Philip Connell. Our next award will be presented by Kelly Petrie, who is the president of the Tampa Bay Bankruptcy Bar Association. The award is the Judge Alexander Pasquet Bankruptcy Award, and the recipient is Jessica Adair Hicks. Bonnie Polk, who is a class of 1994 graduate and president of the Judge John M. Shebb American Inn of Court, will present the next award, which not surprisingly is called the Judge John M. Shebb Excellence and Appellate Advocacy Award. The recipient is Jeffrey Charles Keller. Our next award is the Mark L. Levine Award, and the recipient is Dariki T. Gayuka. Receiving the Maria G. Martin Award for Legal Ethics is Nicole Elizabeth Savorska. Our next award has two recipients. It's the Matthew Bender Elder Law Book Award. The two recipients are Alyssa Lynn Aquaviva and Roger W. Klafka. And Alyssa, don't go anywhere, because the Melvin Trout PA Trust Award is going to, ready? Alyssa Lynn Aquaviva. Our next award is going to be presented by a class of 2012 graduate, Derek Larson Cheney. It is the Michael P. Allen Award for Excellence and Professionalism, and the recipient is Marissa Ann Chofie. And that's Michael Allen. The Nader's Rake Memorial Awards recipient is Daniel Kyle Rohan Mahura. The recipient of the National Association of Women Lawyers Outstanding Law Student Award goes to Chloe L. Wells. Our next award has four recipients, so I'm going to ask them all to come down. It's the National Order of Scribes Award, and it is going to Cameron Robert Hall, Shelby Mars, Kara Brooke Rogers, and Monica Lee Strady. Our next award is the Paul Bernard Award for Clinical Excellence, and it goes to Karun Patricia Rivero. We have two recipients of our next award, which is the Pride Award. It goes to Nathan Sean Brumer and Francisco Javier Lopez. Next is the Public Interest Award, and that recipient is Julianne S. Welch. The Ralph Harris Farrell Competition Award recipient, Caitlin Marie Dugas. The Raphael Steinhardt Award recipient, Nathan Sean Brumer. Our next award is going to be presented by two of our alums, Alexander Jagella, class of 2004, and Tom Yeagers, class of 2005. It is the Stephanie A. Vaughn Excellence in Advocacy Award, and this year's recipient, Courtney Page Olivier. And we have Dean Vaughn on hand. Next, we have the Suzanne Armstrong Memorial Award. That recipient is Arda Goker. Our next award is going to be presented by Deidre Demps. She's an alum, class of 2013. It is the Florida Bar Labor and Employment Law Section Dean W. Gary Voss Scholarship, and the recipient is Adriana Hope Foreman. Our next award is the Florida Bar City, County, and Local Government Law Section Student Award, and the recipient is Susan Michelle Gray. Our next award is going to be presented by Ron Gregory, who is the president of the St. Petersburg Bar Foundation. It is the Thomas E. Pennick Jr. Award for Community Service, and this year's recipient is Jamie Carell Worley. And I should tell you that Jamie performed more pro bono hours than any other student in the graduating class, almost 700. The next award is going to be 18 recipients, so I'm not going to have you come up. I'm going to have you stand when I call your name, and I will ask that you hold applause till I get through all 18 names. This is the Victor O'Whaley Award for those who received the top grade in trial advocacy, and the recipients are Grant Landis Bailey III, Ashley Marie Brooks, Marissa Ann Chofie, Ariel Salon Claude, Colby Philip Connell, Albert Evan Dix, Caitlin Marie Dugas, Ashley Elizabeth Ataro, Jordan Bliss Green, Benjamin John James, Yusuf Ali Kudmi, Chelsea Johanna Leiden, Sterling R. Lovelady, Sasha Lee Francesca Pandolfo, Diego M. Pastana, Alexis Lee Petrosino, Karun Patricia Rivero, and Carlos Sanchez. Our last three awards are the ones I said I was going to be taking out of order, and these are, we consider, kind of the big dogs of the awards. They're the biggest of the big. And the Walter Mann Award recipient this year is Casey Austin Feltner. Next is the Dean's Award. It's a name you've heard before, Adriana Hope Foreman. And last is the Edward D. Foreman Most Distinguished Student Award, and this is going to be presented by Alexander Jagella, class of 2004, and Andrew Chang, class of 2005, who will present the award on behalf of Bonnie Foreman.
Ready for this? Good afternoon. My name is Alex Jagella Litz, and I, along with Andrew Chang, will be presenting the Edward Foreman Most Distinguished Student Award. I have to say, I love this day. It is such an honor to graduate from Stetson. This school took me, a student who could not speak in public, you can ask Professor Picard for proof on that, and turned me into an assistant district attorney when I graduated. I have the honor and blessing of being Mr. Foreman's last law clerk. I hold that honor dear to my heart, and I honestly never knew what an impact taking that job offer would have in my life. And a lot of these impacts are right in front of me. Now, I often give accolades to Kelly Feely and Stephanie Vaughn for kicking my butt while I was here at Stetson and making me into a lawyer, and I add Mr. Foreman to that power three that helped mold me into the lawyer that I am today. This award is about the most distinguished student. But the core of this award is not just based on grades or just being a well-rounded student. It is based on paying it forward, and behind the scenes, it is based on love. The love of a wonderful woman for an amazing man, Mr. Edward Foreman. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Foreman in the summer of 2003. And while he was alive, he taught me a plethora of things, and he instilled in me that the measure of your life will not be in what you accumulate, but instead in what you give away. Mr. Foreman did well financially, but he was more than that. He was a bulldog attorney. He was the attorney that people came to when their backs were against the wall. Attorneys did not enjoy matching wits with Mr. Foreman in court, but he was also the attorney that helped his fellow attorney and his fellow man. He made the law better, and he provided services for free when he saw a need, and he expected no thanks in return. Mr. Foreman was thoughtful and not a man to waste words. When I interviewed with him, I'll always remember him asking me, "So, what are your grades like?" And I had to be honest with him and tell him I was a middle-of-the-road student. I had done my research on Mr. Foreman, and I knew that he was the top of his class in 1971 here at Stetson, and that he'd been on law review. I was a little nervous, didn't think I was going to get the job, but he said, "I like you. You'll just have to work a little bit harder than the other students." He was a mentor to me, and he taught me not only to do the right thing as an attorney, but also to be the right thing in this profession. You are a lawyer every day. Every action and reaction is what you are evaluated on. Be the attorneys that others measure themselves against. I will always remember him tossing a file on my desk and telling me to make sure the case was ready for mediation and to write the mediator's report. I was flabbergasted because it was a multi-million-dollar wrongful death lawsuit, and I was just a little law clerk. He just said, "Make it good." I remember looking behind me and kind of around me, trying to find the attorney that he was talking to, and that was a monumental moment for me because he trusted me to make it good. Now, when I say this award is also about love, it is because I cannot talk about one without the other. Edward Foreman and Bonnie Brown Foreman started their love affair at Stetson DeLand. Bonnie tells me that she looked across the football field at Stetson, and there was Mr. Foreman, and it was love at first sight. As the story goes, Mr. Foreman took a little bit longer to catch up on that love at first sight. But before long, he was in love too. I wish that I could express their love correctly, but words cannot do it justice. Love like this happens in literature and it happens in the movies. To see it play out in real life, the only word I can actually use to describe it is breathtaking. When Bonnie would walk into the room and their eyes caught, the world stopped and everything stood still. There was no one else but the two of them, and it is something that I would give anything to see just one more time. Mr. Foreman passed away on March 17, 2004, and Miss Bonnie came to my graduation on May 15, 2004. And here at this graduation is where the idea for this award was hatched. Alice Millin, Miss Foreman, and myself went into college relations, and we hatched up the whole idea. And it has now been 12 years since the very first recipient, Andrew Chang. It has been 12 years of remembering Mr. Foreman and saying his name. Now I leave you with a quote from Christopher Walken and his movie Stand Up Guys. It's not a great movie, but it is a great quote. They say we die twice. Once when the breath leaves our body, and once when the last person we know says our name. And because of Bonnie Foreman's love, Mr. Foreman lives on every time that we say his name.
I unfortunately never had the privilege of meeting Ed Foreman. As Alex mentioned, I received the first Edward D. Foreman Most Distinguished Student Award in 2005, and that is 12 years ago today, which seems just astonishing. I do have the privilege and the honor of introducing you to the 2017 recipient. This recipient started at the University of Tampa and earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management, cum laude. He was on the dean's list for 5 of his 8 semesters. He was also on the baseball team, and if you're a baseball fan, he's a Cleveland Indians fan. He's also quite talented musically. He plays the guitar, prefers blues music, and I've been told there's a video out there with Professor Long, Gardner, some students, as well as this recipient. When this recipient came to Stetson, he pretty much did everything. He made the dean's list in fall of 2015, the honor roll in spring of 2015, and the fall of 2014. He received the highest grade in evidence, antitrust, trial advocacy, and professional responsibility. You will also see one of his articles later this year in the Stetson Law Review, Dazed and Confused, the Need for Clarity in Dodd-Frank's Abusive Standard. He was also in the Moot Court Board, where he was a national semifinalist and a regional co-champion in the 2016 ABA Appellate Advocacy Competition, a finalist in the 2016 Robert Orsick Moot Court Competition, and also won Best Brief in the 2017 Andrews Kurth National Moot Court Competition. In addition to all that, he was also an ambassador for Stetson, a research assistant to Professor Mark Bauer, and he's prepared himself probably better than I can ever imagine for the practice of law, in the sense that he was a summer associate for Hill Ward Henderson, a judicial intern for the Honorable James D. Whittemore, a legal intern at the Attorney General's office, a research intern for the Office of the Public Defender in the Sixth Circuit, and an office clerk for banker Lopez Gassler. This most deserving recipient is receiving a crystal award in the shape of a flame to make sure that our passion for the law never gets extinguished. In the interest of paying it forward, the award will now be passed from each former recipient present today to our newest recipient. It will now be passed, and I can't see who's on the end over here. Derek, from Derek to Patisse to Brian to Tom to Jason to Rachel to Darnisha to Aaron to Joe to Katie and to Chris, to our newest recipient. The recipient's name has been cast in bronze and is being secured to the plaque outside of the Great Hall so his family can cherish this most amazing accomplishment in perpetuity. We are honored to present the 2017 Edward D. Foreman Most Distinguished Student Award and a check for $5,000 to Evan Dix.
Thank you so much. This is a tremendous honor, and I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. First and foremost, I just want to thank Bonnie Foreman and her husband, Ed Foreman. Over the past few weeks, I have learned so much about Bonnie and Ed and their generosity, their dedication, and their love. And going forward, I only hope to be even half of what Bonnie and Ed stand for, but I will do my best every day in my own way to emulate their generosity, dedication, and love. These past 3 years have been very good to me in many different ways, but of course behind every successful moment is a lot of work and often a lot of failure. And I think way too often those become greatly undervalued because only in those moments do we learn about ourselves and do we better ourselves. And I've had many of those moments in many different capacities, but one of those capacities is that I'm fortunate to have been an athlete for virtually all my life. I played baseball, a few years of which were in college. And baseball itself is a game of failure. In the majors, if you have 10 at-bats, you get a hit 3 times, and you keep that up over your career, they put you in the Hall of Fame for it. It's one of the only times where you can be successful 30% of the time and be remembered as a legend. Somehow I don't think clients would appreciate us getting it right 30% of the time. But baseball is different. To some, it's just a game, but to me, it has been much more. Even though my career is long since over, didn't quite end the way I'd hoped, it's influenced how I live my life in many different ways and has greatly contributed to my success here at Stetson. And so I'd like to just share 3 very brief stories, but very powerful stories of my time with the game and how they've really influenced me. The first story just touches on the ups and downs of baseball. I had a game in college where I threw 6 innings, no runs, 1 hit, great game. We ended up winning the game. And a few games later is my next start. And I'm feeling good, coming off a win. We're playing at home. I gave up 7 runs in the first inning. And it wasn't like I was walking guys or hitting batters. I mean, everything I threw was just getting absolutely smoked. And on top of that, my mom and my sister had come down to watch that game, so that was fun. But that's baseball. And these past 3 years, I've always remembered that. And it's really shown me the importance of humility. Today's success could be tomorrow's failure. Just because I did well on one exam didn't mean a thing when it came time to sit for another exam. Just because I gave a great argument in a moot court competition didn't mean the next judge would agree with me, and they frequently disagreed with me. But I've done my best to treat each opportunity as its own independent opportunity, to enjoy my successes, but to stay cognizant of the fact that each day is a new day, and to attack each day the same way as the previous, remaining humble no matter the outcome of any given situation. The second story is just about the grind of being an athlete. Baseball took a lot of physical and mental work. In college, we would have 2.5 to 3 hour practices, 6 days a week. Me and some of my buddies would go down to practice early and get some extra work in. We'd go to the gym on our own time. And on top of that, while it's all physically demanding, every pitch, every swing, every drill requires this very intensive mental focus. And also on top of that, you're in school, so there's something called class as well. And those times were a big wake-up call in the sense of showing the incredible work ethic that not just baseball, but life requires. I knew coming to law school would require the same level of dedication day in and day out. One of the mantras that I grew up by is, what are you doing when no one else is looking? And while it's great to hear about some of the things that I've done these past 3 years and the organizations I've been a part of, what I'm most proud of is what occurred when no one was looking and what so few people in this room have truly seen, which is the day-to-day and how I got here. I truly look back on my 3 years here at Stetson with great reverence. I didn't take a whole lot of time for myself, and I gave my entirety to this school and to the organizations that I was a part of. And that is something that I will always be very proud of. The third and final story is just about the fact of remembering that there are 9 players on the field and not just one. My first collegiate appearance on the mound wasn't even supposed to happen. The other team was chipping away at this 5 or 6 run lead we had, and it all of a sudden came one of these oh crap moments where I'm sprinting down to the bullpen to get warmed up, and it ended up being the 9th inning. There's 2 outs, we're up 1 run, the tying run's on base, and I'm brought in. So my job is just to get 1 out, which sounds pretty simple. I started the batter out with a changeup, which was my best off-speed pitch, and was swung and missed for strike 1. Then I went to the fastball that was called for strike 2. Then I go back to the changeup, hung it a little bit, and the batter crushes it. It's going deep back to left field, it's high, it's far, and our left fielder jumps at the wall, robs a home run, and catches it for the last out of the game. And so I just told myself that on the books, it's just a fly out, just a long fly ball. But I also attribute this moment to remembering that doing well as an individual is great. I would have loved the strikeout, but nothing is more important than the team. And this was a great example to me of just trusting your teammates and knowing that you don't have to do everything yourself. You have a team for a reason. And when everything is said and done, you might not remember every swing you took, but you'll always remember the team that you did it with and being a part of something greater. And these past 3 years here at Stetson in particular, I've had the absolute most incredible team with me. Aaron Okino and Jason Stearns, both alumni and previous recipients of this award. I was able to work with both of you very closely in Moot Court and just to get to know you guys as well. We had a lot of fun along the way. We worked hard, and I'm very happy to call both of you friends. Corey Henson, who's been instrumental in helping me reach my career goals and always interested in talking college football, even though he's a Michigan fan and I'm an Ohio State fan. Professor Bauer, thank you for just taking a chance on me. Without knowing me, you agreed to help me on a big project I was working on. You helped me through several classes that I took with you, and you always just made time to sit down and talk. And so I thank you for that. Professor Bowman, we've been through a lot together. Countless hours working with the Moot Court Board in one capacity or another. It's taken us to Macon, Georgia, Orlando, Houston, Boston twice, Chicago. I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I can't wait to give back to future generations of Moot Court. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to make everything that we worked for possible. Professor Allen, in the back. If I wasn't working with Professor Bowman from Moot Court, I was working with Professor Allen. And so much of the way that I think, the way that I express ideas and arguments, I owe to you. You genuinely helped transform me from student to attorney, and I'm eternally grateful for that. My colleagues here today, especially those who are on the law review, the Moot Court Board, and the ambassador program. I have the utmost admiration and respect for each and every one of you. To steal something that I heard my friend Casey say a few weeks ago, I'm a smarter and better person for having worked with you all. My parents who are here tonight, Mom and Dad, you've always been there for me, always supported me, and you've never given up on me, even through all the failures. I love you guys so much, and I'm just so happy that I get to share this moment with you. And last but not least, my girlfriend, Brittany. You truly light up my heart every day, and I love every minute that I get to spend with you. Thank you for just always being there. While I've discussed different stories of mine with baseball, it's the culmination of them together that has truly influenced my life in a positive way. And so I encourage everyone, especially those of us graduating tomorrow, to reflect on your hard work, your failures over the course of your lives, not to dwell on the bad, but because through that hard work and failure, we're able to learn about ourselves, to better ourselves, and to appreciate those moments where it all pays off. Through my hard work and failure, I'm truly blessed to stand here in what is one of the absolute best moments of my life. Thank you.
Isn't this an especially wonderful place? Congratulations. Good evening. I'm Bob Huth, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Stetson University, and it's my privilege and honor to extend what I'll call belated I-4 greetings and congratulations to each and every one of you on behalf of President Libby, Provost Painter, and myself. Graduation and related ceremonies are important in the life of the university. It's a time when we celebrate our mission to educate and our passion and commitment to teach. Unfortunately, due to multiple graduation events, neither President Libby nor Provost Painter could be here in person this evening. I do know that Provost Painter is looking forward to participating in the ceremonies tomorrow. This afternoon has also been about celebrating your achievements that are above and beyond. We applaud you and your families for all the hard work and success you've achieved. We know that you'll make the world a better place through your knowledge of law and understanding of justice. Well done, and remember that we heard that each day is a new day. So enjoy tomorrow, soon to be Stetson lawyers.
So I hope you're all comfortable. We only have 176 more awards to give out. So Stetson is a remarkable law school, and to pick up on Evan's theme, there's a lot that goes into the education of the students that graduate from Stetson. And a big part of that is the coaches and the mentors who are our faculty at the College of Law, because without them, all of our students don't become the successes that we know that they will become after they graduate. So I would ask our faculty to please stand so we can recognize them. So after we conclude, there is a wonderful graduate celebration that begins outside immediately when we conclude. But before we do that, I'd like to end how we started. and that is have our graduates stand and congratulate them from all of their accomplishments. Commencement begins tomorrow at 8:30. We hope you join us for the graduate celebration outside. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful evening.